Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Anno 1800. You join us back in Ditchwater, where we have a little bit of a shortage of workers in our new settlement here. You can see we expanded our steel industry, basically, and we now have a massive shortage of workforces here. So we're going to start by upgrading some of our workers' residences to, our farmers' residences to workers' residences. Now, we already had these in place, so it's just a case of finalizing some upgrades, and then you will see that things are starting to come down. So I'm just going to select quite a few of these. I want to upgrade quite a few. So let's get this done, and you'll see our farmer workforce is starting to drop as well. So we may need to just make sure that we're leveling these things out quite nicely and keeping a nice balance. We're still going okay, so we can continue to do that. One more maybe, and another. That should do it. So our workforce is starting to develop. We are losing some farmers' workforces though, so we're just going to boost that up a little bit more, and then we're going to need to build some brand new residences. So if we go to our construction menu, and then I want farmers, and I'm going to build a farmer's residence. Now we're going to have to build some nearby, kind of around the farm area here, so I'm just going to put in a couple that go up to here and end here maybe. They'll have to end there, I guess, because if I carry on going, we're not going to be able to do that. So let's put that in, then we put a dirt road in that loops around here, ends there, and then it's going to go back up to there. Excellent. I've got a little bit of space there, so we can maybe, if we move stuff here, I think, let's just demolish these four, and I'm going to rebuild them here. We've also been suggested that we produce some hops on our island, but we need to settle a new island to do that. Looking at quite a few of our stuff here, we've got to build a weapons factory, but we're still quite far off that. You can see our workforce has dropped down and will continue to go down. I think we're probably going to even that out now. Good. Farmer workforce is a little bit different though, so we're going to need to make sure that we've got people moving into that. I'm going to speed things up, and then we'll see how that gets on. We have the latest edition of the newspaper, so let's have a look. Fire has erupted. Yep, we did have that at the end of last episode. That may not have been on the recording, but, you know, I wonder if we can change that. Let's edit our newspaper. Let's get some... do we want consumerism to increase our income? Or let's go with consumerism. How much influence have we got? We're okay on influence, I think. There we go. Buying things makes us happy. There we go. 5% income there. We have a decreased riot chance from that and a successful mission. I think that'll do. We'll publish that. You can see now our influence is 120, and we are generating influence, so that's good. And yeah, okay, so these things are now leveled out, and they're going to start producing stuff quite nicely for us. Ditchwater's farmer workforce is looking pretty good as well, and that actually is going to allow us to build our weapons factory. So our weapons factory is, of course, part of a production chain. We can build that weapons factory, and I'm going to put it down here. So we do need to be very careful with how we build this. I better just... Whoops, wrong one. Weapons factory, and I'm going to rotate it and pop it behind here. Then we can get in a road going all the way up to that. And hopefully it's got stuff nearby to it. Doesn't have any steel yet, but it will eventually get some in. So, we don't have a warehouse in range, actually. That's a problem. So let's build a brand new warehouse. We don't want a small warehouse. Actually, a small warehouse should do it, surely. Let's put a small warehouse right there. And then that should... Missing goods. It's going to get them soon enough, though, surely. You can see we've got a decent workforce that's ready to get into action. There we go. Right, our weapons factory is done. And now we can start working on stuff for Archibald Blake, which is going to involve a schooner, a gunboat, and a frigate. So if we go to our ship building, we can now build our schooner. We've got a gunboat there that we can build, but we need artisans to unlock the building of a frigate. That's our next step then. So first of all, we're going to build our schooner, and then we just need some timber and guns to actually build the gunboats, and they want 2 of them. So if I just have a look at my general production, you can see our workforce has dipped a little bit again, so we can come in here and upgrade these ones to workers' residences. That's good. That is still a farmer. We can upgrade them, but we need timber. We're having a bit of an issue with timber. So looking at timber, if we just go over to our timber yard, which is somewhere around here. That's just the knitters. I think I made some adjustments and moved a lot of these things around earlier on. Timber got moved over here. Right, so our sawmill is producing at a rate of 100%, so that's good, but it can boost that a little bit. We're still getting plenty of timber in. I think we've just spent a lot on other stuff, so that's fine. We can keep that running. We also have picked up a new quest to find and settle a new island. What are these warnings? A workforce shortage. That's fine. Looking at our events, we've got nothing going on. Newspaper's fine. We've gained some influence there. So we need to build a trading post on an island with hops fertility. Then deliver 10 tons of timber and 8 tons of steel beams to the island's coast to build the trading post. We then need to sustain across the region an 80% of beer supply for 1 minute. This is an optional quest, but seeing as we are working on this very slowly, and it's going to take a bit of time, why not do that? Let's have a look at what other stuff we've got. We've got 3 guns now. Our schooner is currently at 1 building getting done there. We still have workforce to produce, so we're going to upgrade another house. And looking at this, we're starting to get more people coming in. Looking like, if we continue to fulfill the needs of our guests, we should be okay. They do want a school, so I think we can do that, actually. Let's go to our workers and build a school. We've got a harbour there. The police station might be a good thing to put in as well. And our school should... let's put the school kind of like make it the centrepiece of things. So we'll put the school here and build it right there. So now people have access to a school. Once it is built, once we get the goods in, we need 20 units of timber for that. And I think maybe it's going to be a good idea to expand our timber industry because it's taking a fair bit of time to get stuff in place. So let's just ignore that for now. We're going to go to timber. We're going to build a lumberjack's hut. And I think we'll build it out here, right next to the production of clay and bricks. So it's still in range of... I keep doing that. I keep using tab to rotate. What a fool. Yeah, okay. I don't know what she was asking me to do, but we'll just ignore it for now anyway. We'll get that in, and there we go. We can start producing a little bit more timber. Good. Right, let's get a dirt road in to link all of that up. There we have it. So they're planting forest, but they can still gain access to stuff. And we should be able to start producing timber at a quicker rate. We can now build that school. There we go. And they also would like a... they've got a school, so that's fine. These guys are happy and fine. What else do they need? How can we make them happier? We can give them a pub. Now, they do have a pub. We have a high chance of a fire as well, actually, so that's not good. How do we increase that a little bit more? Is there a way to decrease that? High building density are most likely to suffer a fire. Okay, right. So it's simply because we've got a lot of buildings packed in that space. We've got another fire station out here that also has a high chance of fire. Also, I've already put a weapon factory in. We're going to... We'll demolish that weapon factory. That's why I had that there. Let's build a brand new weapon factory then. We're going to put this weapon factory in here and we'll demolish the other one. Simply because I think that original weapon factory that I did have blueprinted up was in range. Oh, it's not. It's still out of range of the warehouses. So I was not going to get that to work anyway. Right, we'll build a brand new warehouse right here. Or is it that the charcoal kiln needs that for the range? So we're going to leave that there. I think that's probably the best thing to do. We should now be able to build our first gunboat. I think we'll have enough for that. There we go. Right, that's getting built now. But we haven't yet got to the stage where we can have artisans. The sailmakers are missing some goods, and the pub currently, I think these guys have some issues with it. Yeah, they need beer and a church. Well, the church we can do. So let's build the church. Again, it's another public service. I'm going to put my church, we'll put it here. Or let's put it at the top of this green space right next to the market, maybe. And also next to the school. There we go. Right, that's good. So we have the church in place. So again, residents will be happy, but beer is what we need. So settling a new island and getting some hops is probably going to be the way to go. We've got a zinc deposit there as well. We've not actually looked into that. Looking at our quest book then, we can sell these things to Archibald. We've got a schooner, another schooner. Our gunboat is currently being built. That's one gunboat done. Let's build another one. I think I've built 2 schooners here. Okay, bring back Samuel's spirit, apparently. We still got some more guns to get for that gunboat. Some optional quests coming in then, by the looks of things. Doesn't look like that we actually got that one. So the penguin is going to stay here. We might as well keep that one. This lot are a little fleet, so we'll move this schooner over to here. I'm going to keep a hold of that one. We've got obviously our flagship, the Starfish, and it looks like everything else is just kind of awaiting orders. So 4 guns. We're still producing liquor from the potatoes, but we are a little bit short on stuff. So we are going to take out our flagship and our little schooner here, and we're going to go for a little jaunt around and see what we can find just exploring the land. We're looking for somewhere where we can grow hops so we can establish a small island settlement that is going to focus on that. We've discovered a new island over here. So what do we think they might have? We've got iron, we've got limestone and coal, and iron again, and limestone and coal. So this could be a very bountiful settlement for us, but we're going to keep that to one side for now. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to do anything further. It looks like wheat might be one. Let's just have a look. Is there a way for us to get an idea of this? Right, hops fertility, yes. So we can grow hops there, but because of the sheer number of natural resources there in terms of iron and stuff, I'm kind of inclined to keep that as it is. So if we look at Ditchwater, I have no way of seeing the fertility here yet. Well, there probably is. I'm just not looking for it right now. Let's move our ships over to here then. See if we can find anything else. I think there might be another island. Yes, there is one over here. And again, they've got hops fertility, red pepper, grapes, and potatoes. They've got iron deposits, coal, more coal, and copper, and a clay deposit. But it's quite a small island, so I don't know if we're going to be able to grow a lot of hops there. So we'll keep on going. I'm just going to head back to my settlement for a moment and see if I'm ready for another gunboat. Yes, we are. What we need now is artisans so we can actually build that frigate for our next part of the quest. Our balance, we are losing a little bit of money, and it might well be time to just reinvestigate our trades. Because as you can see, we've got other people here who are starting to buy stuff. Right, okay, it looks like hops fertility here, as well as some clay, more clay, and more clay. This is going to be the island that we settle on. Right, so we need steel beams, and we need 10 units of wood. So we're going to head back, and this is where we will sort out our next sort of step. I wonder if there's another area around the other side of Ditchwater where I could put a potential trading post. It doesn't look like there is, though. Yes, that's all cliff edges, so we can't do anything about that, unfortunately. And another edition of the newspaper. Let's see what we've got. Bankruptcy. John Franklin is in the red, and it can only be... Absolutely not. I'm not in the red. I'm doing pretty well. What can we do for hypnosis or consumerism? Let's do that. Let's go with consumerism again. And should we go for hypnosis? Yeah, let's do it. Excellent. Right, let's just... Nothing wrong with a bit of propaganda there. And I'm now a wordsmith, thanks to my influence. Right, okay, so we're going to bring our flagship in here. And we're going to have a look at what trading we can do. So what I want to do is I want to put some timber onto my ship. We're going to... I don't want to establish a trade route. No, thank you. Yes, we're going to cancel that. Come out of my trade routes. There's a lot of menus that I've yet to discover. There we go. Transfer menu. Right, so we needed... I'm just going to take 50 units of that. And we'll take... I think 20 units of that. We'll put that back in. I think that's probably going to be enough. And then let's get these things out of there. Over to this island here. Ready to establish our next trade post. Then we can get hops going. So all we need to do is get some hops fertility there and get some people to move into it. Over here in Ditchwater, yes, that's where we see the fertility. Red peppers, nitra deposits. We've got grain fertility and potato fertility. So we can't get a lot from here. How is it looking, though? So again, schnapps is a luxury need here. And I think we may need to build some more potato farms. So that's something that we should definitely focus on. I'm going to go back to my construction menu. We're going to have a look at what we can put in here. So potato farm, again, we're going to go up to the top here. It does need to be near a warehouse. I mean, there is potential that we just put it out here. Just a small potato farm next to this lumber. And then we can add in some fields just here. There we go. Yeah, that will do quite nicely. So we're not going to get to... Oh God, there's one more bit of land that we can put in. I mean, I really don't want to put it like a little nub in there, which I think is a bit frustrating, unless we can adjust the field somehow. Let's demolish this. Then we'll try that again, eh? Again, 71. You know what? I'm just going to leave it like that. We'll leave it at 71. Right, so we're getting more potatoes in, which means we can produce a lot more schnapps at a quicker rate. The sailmakers is having some issue because of the lack of cotton. We've got a lot of potato fields there. Again, it's because these aren't fully fledged potato fields. What about, how are we looking then? Wool. Our sheep farms, our pig farms are doing fine. Sheep farm are, they're struggling. Now, a silo will store... Let's build a silo. The sheep farm here. We'll put it there. And then I think we can build another one here. Just to increase the productivity. Because I can't build another sheepfold there. So the silo will definitely help. That gives us a little bit more opportunity to store some more grain. The pig farm is fine. That has a silo. And our framework... See, I don't know why these are working at 98%. They're just a little bit short of where we need them to be. It's because we don't have enough workers. That's why. Right, so if we just make life a little bit easier for them... no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to drop the productivity. We need them working maxed out, really. Right, anyway... We now have this working, and let's have a quick look at our residents and their happiness levels. So again, schnapps, we're not storing a lot. Let's have a look at what we've got in here then. Yeah, we don't have any schnapps in storage. So it's now more important than ever that we get this done. So I'm just going to move this schooner over here. We are going to build a trading post right there. So Starsburg has now been founded. And we just need to build our farm. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to build a small warehouse right here. Actually, no, we need to start off with the basic stuff. So our warehouse is going to have to go around about here. Let's have a look at what farms we can build then. We don't want schnapps. We want beer. So we need grain, malt, and hops. So all we want to do here, though, is produce some hops. So I'm going to build a hops farm just down here. Then we are going to pop the farm down. We'll have it go along to here. Then I'm going to match it up with the actual farmland area. I'm just going to demolish these 2 spaces at the back, and then we'll actually get this one perfectly done. Excellent. Right, so we now have a full hops farm ready for action. We're going to then put a dirt road in here. And then we can put another dirt road coming along out of the trading post. There we go. Then we'll put a small warehouse right here. Then we're going to do a dirt road. And that dirt road is going to come up to here and go around the back of the warehouse, where we will have another hops farm. Now, the malt house we can sort out as well, so that's fine. Then, once again, a nice big hop field. Perfect. So we've got 2 hops farms there. We don't have anybody to work in them right now, but that's fine. We're going to get that sorted now. So let's go to our farmer residence. And we'll start putting these in now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's go with some more 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we'll head on along down here. Finish that off there quite nicely. Right, okay, so what we're going to need to do now is get a little bit more stuff. So we need to continue fleshing this out with some timber. So I'm going to put a lumberjack's hut right out here. We want the road to continue out of town and join up there. Then our saw pit is going to go, needs to go somewhere next to it. So let's put the saw pit here and then run the dirt road down. Good. Right. We obviously don't have the workforce for this right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause my production here and here. Now we should, if anybody has moved into the place yet, we have a 14 surplus of workforce. What we need then to get this done is some timber. So actually it might be best if we just go back over to our main settlement and pick up some more timber. And we suddenly have another shortage of farmer workforce, which actually we did have before. So we can actually drop down some of these residents to make life a bit easier. So we're just going to downgrade some of these residents back to farmers. There we go. Right, now these ships we need to sell to Archibald Blake. Let's have a look over here. We're going to take this lot over to him. And then we might, if we do some of it, unlock the frigate. But Strasbourg currently, Starsburg, not Strasbourg. We've got ruins in my cities. Where? Show me, please. Where are the ruins? That's a destroyed building. What's happened there? Oh, dear. Were people just very annoyed or something? Okay, let's pick up some timber. I'm going to take quite a bit of timber there. We'll take 100, and then we'll head back out to Starsburg. Right, I'm losing quite a bit of money for some reason. That ain't good. How are we losing so much money? It's the ships. That's what it is. What about over here then? Have we arrived yet? Hello? I've got a quest for Eli Beckwith. A destruction quest. Okay. Destroy this gunboat. I mean, I don't know how we're going to do that. Ah, it's that one. That's what we need to destroy. Okay, we're going to head back to the old world. I didn't mean to go out to the map. We'll hunt that gunboat down next episode because I'm going to need my own gunboats to do that. So I'm going to build a couple of those if I can. I'm not quite sure where the rest of my ships have gone. Ah, there they are. Right, so... And again, we've got a pickup quest, which I'm going to leave for now. Now, how do I do this? How do I sell these gunboats to him? Do I just ride them up to here? Ah, there we go. Right, okay. So let's just slow things down a second. I'm going to trade. Let's see what I can sell him. Can I just offer him... What if I do this and then sell ship? Ah, there we go. Right. That's one. And another one. This is relatively easy, actually. There we go. And then we sell this one. That actually brings our coffers back up a little bit, which is quite useful. So we then need to destroy a gunboat over there. I'm going to build myself my own personal gunboat. Now that we've actually sold those, you'll see that things have gotten a little bit better. Right, looking over here, we can finally ditch this cargo. I'm going to transfer all of that timber into my warehouse. We're then going to build these farmer residences that have been stuck in blueprint mode for quite some time. And now we should be able to get to work. And hopefully people will start moving in and we can actually get our hops ready. We have critical workforce there. We've got a sawmill that is not yet producing anything. And people yet to move in. 10 farmers have now moved in. We don't have any food yet, so we're going to need to do that. So let's go to our construction menu, build a fishery right there. And then they're going to need a marketplace as well. So this should now see people start to move in. They should get a little bit happier with the place. And hopefully people will start coming in. Fish was a basic need and work clothes was a basic need. So we need a sheep farm. We'll put a small sheep farm right here. Get some pastures like that. And then build a framework knitters down here. Then we'll add in a couple more farming residences. We'll go with one here and one here. And then I'm going to put a few that just go up here as well. Get a road going up to there and going along the back there and up to here. Okay, so hopefully that should start seeing some people coming into the city and we can start seeing the expansion of that. So Starsburg is actually costing us quite a bit of money right now, but there's nothing I can do about that. And we will leave it there. So I've got a gunship being built and a second one. Then we'll go and take down that gunboat for our good friend over here. It's around in that area now. God, we've got to catch them up. So, escaped prisoners have stolen Governor Bleakworth's private boat, and he needs you to set off in pursuit. All right, well, we can do that. We'll go and find them. So the population of Starsburg is beginning to increase and workers are starting to get stuff done, which is very useful. Now, over here at Ditchwater, we are still losing money there. So we need to do something about that. We've actually lost a little bit of our workforce, so we may need to add in some more stuff there. Looking at our trades then, I think we need to set up some trade routes. So we've got plenty of clay. We've also got quite a few pigs, and that is increasing. Bricks is something that we could look to trade. So we're going to sell some bricks, and we want to keep a minimum stock of 50 in. Then everything else, we'll sell. So we'll sell when above 60. There we go. Right, so we can sell bricks. Pigs we're going to leave. Steel we don't want to touch. Iron we're not going to touch. We're going to leave that as it is. We haven't got hops in yet. We haven't got malt in yet, but we are probably going to need to get some malt. Timber is decreasing. What about items? Have we got any items? No. Okay. I think that will do us for now. We will say goodbye. Our new settlement is starting very slowly to increase in happiness and efficiency. Oh, we need to put a road in here. Actually, let's get that done. we'll just do this, and then I will get rid of that road there. Like that. There we go. Right. Yes, so this settlement is starting to develop. We're starting to get more people coming in. There are plenty of jobs available, and people are starting to arrive, but our balance is dropping. Although the Starsburg negative is starting to sort itself out, which is useful. Over here at Ditchwater, though, it is still going pretty bad. But we're going to have to say our goodbyes for now, having another look at our city, which is starting to develop really quite well. Anyway, I will see you all for the next episode of Anno 1800, when we hopefully begin by hunting down that enemy ship. Thanks all for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.